Have you ever looked at a massive server and wondered how it can run dozens of different systems all at once? Well, the magic behind that is something called a hypervisor. And today, we're going to install one of the biggest names in the game, VMware ESXi. Let's get right into it and turn that piece of hardware into a real virtualization powerhouse.
So what exactly is ESXi? It's not like Windows or Linux. Think of it as a super specialized operating system. It's a bare metal hypervisor, which is a fancy way of saying it installs directly onto the server's hardware. Its one and only job is to slice up all that physical power, the CPU, the RAM, the storage, and turn it into separate, isolated virtual machines. This is the exact technology that lets you spin up a virtual server in the cloud in just minutes.
Okay, before we even think about hitting that install button, we've got to do our homework. Just like a pilot runs through a pre-flight check, these next steps are absolutely non-negotiable if you want a smooth setup.
Let's break this down. First up, and I can't stress this enough, check the hardware compatibility list, the HCL. If your server isn't on this list, you're rolling the dice on random crashes and all sorts of headaches. So please, don't skip this. Next, you'll need to download the ESXi installer itself, which comes as an ISO file. It's basically a digital blueprint of the installation disk. And finally, you'll use a simple tool, something like Rufus or Etcher, to burn that blueprint onto a USB drive, making it bootable. You don't need anything fancy, an 8GB drive will do the trick just fine.
All right, with our bootable USB ready to go, it's time for the main event. Let's fire this thing up and actually get our hands dirty with the installation. So, go ahead and plug that USB into your server and power it on. Now, you'll need to jump into the server's BIOS or UEFI settings. Usually, you do this by tapping a key like F2, F12, or maybe the delete key right as it starts up. Once you're in there, just find the boot order and make sure the server boots from your USB drive first. After that, you'll see the ESXi menu pop up. Just select the installer, hit Enter, and when you get to the license agreement, go ahead and press F11 to accept it.
Okay, stop. Everybody stop for a second. The very next click is the point of no return. The drive you're about to select is going to be completely and totally erased. I mean, all the data on it will be gone forever. So please, take a deep breath and be 100% sure you're picking the right disk.
Now for the final bits of interaction, use your arrow keys to highlight the disk you want to install ESXi on and press Enter. Next, choose your keyboard layout and then create a strong root password. Write this password down, save it somewhere safe. Do not lose it. It's the master key to your entire hypervisor. After that, you'll see one last confirmation screen. Just press F11 and the installer will finally take over and do its thing.
After a few minutes of waiting, you should see this beautiful screen. Installation complete. Now, before you hit Enter, there's one last super critical step. Unplug the USB drive. If you forget to do this, the server is just going to boot right back into the installer again. So pull the drive out, and then you're clear to hit Enter and reboot.
As your server comes back to life, you're not going to see a familiar Windows or Linux login screen. Nope, you're about to meet the command center for your brand new hypervisor.
And there it is. This screen right here is your new home base. It's called the Direct Console User Interface, or DCUI for short. It's going to show you important info like the server's IP address, which is what you'll use to log in and manage everything from a web browser. Seeing this screen means success. You did it!
But hold on, our work isn't quite done yet. The very next things you'll want to do are some basic network configurations. You'll want to give it a static IP address so it doesn't change on you. You'll also configure DNS and give your server a proper host name. And finally, you'll create your first data store. Think of the data store as the giant virtual hard drive where all the files for your future virtual machines are going to live.
So let's just take a moment and appreciate what we've actually accomplished here. In just a handful of steps, you have laid the entire foundation for your very own private cloud, your own virtualization lab, whatever you want it to be.
So what's the big takeaway? Well, you've just installed a powerful, industry-standard hypervisor. That physical server is no longer just a single machine. It's now a launchpad, a blank canvas for virtualization. You are officially ready to start creating, configuring, and managing your own virtual machines.
The installation is done, the foundation is set, and honestly, the possibilities are pretty much endless. What happens next is completely up to you. Your server is ready and waiting. So, the only question left is, what are you going to build first?